You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and today we're going to be talking with Sharon Romero of the creative luxury accessories brand Around the Collar. But before we get into talking with Sharon about all of her beautiful designs and the inspirations behind them, we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after a short pause.
You love your dog and you want to spend as much time with him as you can. But in your car, it can be distracting and dangerous for you both. You want what's best for your dog, and now you can give it to him. PupSaver is the simple, secure solution for car safety. And now PupSaver has optional seatbelt straps. Just move the passenger seat all the way back, pull the seatbelt out until it clicks or stops, then use the provided clip to lock the seatbelt at the retraction point. Attach PupSaver's seatbelt safety straps and release the slack until just snug around the top. Then reclip at the seatbelt retraction point. Then latch the tether, which you've adjusted to the length of your dog's front legs, onto his harness or collar, and you're done! Your dog is comfy, secure against roaming, and still near enough to pet. In a sudden stop or impact, the PupSaver will protect your dog from the dashboard and windshield by enveloping him like a catcher's mitt and staying securely on the seat. Secure, safe, simple, PupSaver.
For more information, go to pupsaver.com.
Wow, your place looks awesome. And that's the coolest cat bed I've ever seen.
That's my Googie cat bed.
Googie cat bed?
Yeah, I got it online at googiecatbed.com. My cat needed a place to sleep, but leaving bags and boxes lying around made my place look messy. I wanted a real piece of furniture, something that fit in with the rest of my house. The Googie cat bed is perfect. The style is fun and the construction is rock solid. It's handmade right here in the U.S.
Where can I get one?
Just go to googiecatbed.com. That's Googie catbed.com.
Cool.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. This is Jody Miller-Young, your host, and we're here today with Sharon Romero of Around the Collar, a luxury accessories brand for dogs and cats. Welcome, Sharon.
Hi, Jody. Thank you.
Sure. How you doing today?
Today's a wonderful day.
So good. I love to hear that. Well, your collars, leashes, and other accessories are very stylish. You use great colors. But I also, before we get into talking about the intricacies of that, I also really love the story about how this company started and the two cultures that came together to make it happen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Yeah, my husband and I, we met many years ago, and our common interest was ladies' belts. He was a contractor. I found him. I discovered him in New York City. And going back in time, his history is really incredible. He works with leather. He's been a hands-on skilled craftsman for years, going back to his days in South America, in Colombia. And he's got a family history of craftsmen also that he learned from. I, on the other hand, I'm not the one with the skilled, crafty side of me. I have the gift of seeing color and design. So the two of us teamed up. He actually had been making belts for me as a contractor. Then to go forward in time, we became a couple and we created a pet business. We were contractors, and then we decided to create our own line called Around the Collar.
Wonderful. So South American culture with Lalo and a family history. I think it's 75 years of
right. Now it's going a little bit longer. Now it's getting to the point that we don't even want to tell you how many years it is.
Uh-oh.
Well, no. Lalo and I are married close to 30 years. And we have a lot of years together. We have a lot of stories. We both have an interest in the accessory market. We're both skilled in different areas, and it gives us that common ground. And every day, that's what we do.
I love that. I love the Artisan that came together with the FIT grad. It was just a really nice story. But you guys do it a little bit differently in that you're involved in the entire process, from design inspiration to getting the materials, to manufacturing, and then selling to the consumer. So you have total control in terms of quality and in terms of vision. Tell us about how that process works, how you find what the new is going to be for you, and how it works in your factory.
Well, it's the new starts by fashion, the evolution of fashion. And Jody, I know that you're familiar with this because you're a fashionista yourself. And how does it all really happen? There's nothing totally originally, as I learned at FIT, and as I know. It's just the way that you make it happen and your angle and your take on it.
Exactly, your own spin.
Your own spin. Isn't that what it is? And then you have to take that spin and you have to stay true to your form. And that's basically, I'd say, what we have done. What we do is we shop the market for various leather suppliers to see what's going on, what are the trends. Like what I learned years back, trends start at FIT with my education I got. Trends really start way back. Those colors, like the Pantone colors, they're decided from the appliance side of it. Like, all of a sudden there really is a reason that all the furniture and all the kitchens end up looking the same at some point in time. Because, right? You know that, right?
You see, when Pantone comes out with their color of the year, all the industries, interior design industry, fashion industry, everything having to do with design focuses in on that color. So
right, it becomes the color. Pet industry, because I knew this from being in the belt industry, the ladies' belt industry. I wouldn't necessarily, if orange was a hot color, I wouldn't necessarily make an orange belt, but I would make something that would coordinate with the color of the season. Like you might want to wear a luggage color with the orange dress that you're wearing, to make it logical, sensible. But now what's happened is that because we stepped over into the pet industry, we now became more creative, and we can make orange collars. We can make purple collars. They're so much fun. And I love this end of it because it gives me even more openings to play. And a lot of the colors are basic. Pink will always sell. There's different shades of pink, but they always sell. Black, brown, you have your basics. Now, when we entered the pet market, we had to make a name, a niche. We had to decide, well, why is somebody going to want our thing when you can get a brown collar somewhere else? That's a nice quality, that's leather. And what my husband's thing is that we're going to make it so that it's stylish, but it also is that quality that people really are not aware of that they can get in a fashion statement.
Right.
And
Artisan meets fashion.
Jody, that's exactly what our name to fame is. And we only use Swarovski crystals. They're all hand set. They have rivets on the back to make sure they're secure. Because while we're designing all this, we also realize that an animal will be wearing it. They play. They like to enjoy themselves. They're outside. I wouldn't say that our product could be totally, used for roughhousing, but you don't have to be in the park. And we go with that. And we play on those colors. We have found that the stories come back to us that when some of these larger dogs that people are in fear of, when they put on some of our collars, that whole fear disappears. Because
wonderful. It's practical too. It's practical and it's beautiful. I want to circle back a little bit because you started to tell us about this really interesting process. You go to the leather manufacturers and you choose the hides based on, do you dye them yourselves or you tell them how you want them dyed in terms of the colors of that season that you want to work with? How do you do that?
Well, we work with a few different suppliers because not everybody can quite satisfy what we're looking for. We work with a few, and some of them have their own thing. Some colors are just traditional, and some tanneries, they just do the basic colors. So we reach out to find where can we get that pistachio, where can we get the cotton candy and the bubble gum, and some of these the lime, the lemon, the orange.
You're hungry.
And you're getting it right, and we perfectly right. And I try to do it the color so it's named after something that you can relate to.
Yes.
So those fancy colors that I call them fancy or special to dye for around the college. And and then we make decisions. Are we going to keep this color in the line, and we're going to drop this one and move on to another one? It seems though we're not really dropping too much. We just keep adding more because
it's working.
Thank you, because we play up. They stay in. They work with each other. When you look at our flowers in particular, the colors just kind of bounce off each other. We can just keep on going and keep on playing.
And that's the thing. And listeners can go on the Bark and Swagger page. Hi, doggy. Whose doggy is that?
I'm sorry, that's
your
Toby.
doggy? That's Toby.
We really have a dog, yes.
I know, and he's a really cute dog. I've seen pictures.
Yes, thank you.
Hi. So you can go on the page and see there is something for everyone with this brand in terms of color. If you're someone who, like Sharon was talking about, loves bright colors, there's something for you. If you like basics of, classic browns and blacks, if you like animal prints, if you like metallics, there's something for everyone, but each one is done so specially. And I love the flowers and I love the butterflies and the crystals. I'm a blingy girl too. For this year, what were some of your inspirations?
This year we had a lot going on with the holidays.
Yes.
Right now, I was really actually surprised, but it looks like there really is a market for it. St. Patrick's Day, I couldn't believe how many collars we made with the green and white concept.
And they went.
Who would have thought
they
that
flew
one?
out the door?
Yeah, they were very popular.
Yes.
And we have Valentine's Day, we have the holidays, we've done Christmas, which is traditional, which you could imagine, but we've also brought in Hanukkah by using some colors from there. I mixed the sapphire and the topaz stones with white, so it gave a little bit of the Hanukkah color, right? Christmas with the green, that's an easy match, the green, the red, all that stuff. Yeah.
People want to include their pets in everything. If they're celebrating Easter or they're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, they want to include their pet in that because they're part of the family. So
they're part
I'm
of the
seeing
family,
that
they're
more
more
and
proud.
more too with everything, with fashion in general in terms of pets.
And of course, it's not everybody, but it's becoming more. More people
Yes, it's growing.
love
Definitely
the idea.
growing. The industry itself is young, I think, and there's so much growth that can happen, is already happening, and it's a very exciting time to be in the industry because it is young and growing.
I love it. I mean, I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting when I get these phone calls of people just telling me that they have the collar, they get all these compliments, they're coming on board to get a collar for their other dog, or they have to, of course, or they're coming on board because they saw another style that they need to get. These become we are becoming a priority these days, which is great.
Which is wonderful. Well, hold that thought. We have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, it's not only collars that Around the Collar makes, and we're going to find out more about what Sharon and Lalo do. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
It's dinner time in America, where more pet parents trust PetSmart for natural and expert recommended foods than any place else. And now, we've added more than 100 new varieties to our already wide selection of your favorite brands, like Simply Nourish, Authority, Wellness, Science Diet, and more. Do what's best for your pet. At PetSmart, happiness in store.
Go to PetsmartDeal.com to find out this week's coupon code and save up to 30% on food, treats, toys, and more. And get free shipping on orders of $49. Go to PetsmartDeal.com. PetsmartDeal.com.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
This year, Americans are expected to spend a jaw-dropping $36 billion on their pets. From lighted leashes to high-end spa products, the discriminating pet owner can find just about anything to pamper his or her pet. Hi, this is Michelle Fern. Join me every week for Best Bets for Pets, where we'll talk about the latest pet products and talk to the companies that make them. Best Bets for Pets, every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm Jody Miller-Young, your host, and we're here today with Sharon Romero of Around the Collar, a very creative luxury accessories brand for pets. Welcome back, Sharon.
Hi, Jody.
Hey.
Thank you.
Sure. So we were talking about all the wonderful collars that you make, all the colors and the leathers that you use and the accessories, the embellishments. But collars aren't only what Around the Collar does. Tell us more about some of the other products that you also offer.
Well, staying in the line of the collar theme, we do coordinating leashes and harnesses. Then we continued. Then we make carriers. We have the sling carrier that is really comfy.
It's
you
beautiful.
Wear it thank you. And, the dogs fall asleep in it. They just go. You put it on and you just could walk around town and your dog is just nice and comfy. We've added on, with special requests, we have actually made some handbags already and some tote bags. Some of these are luxury items that we're making upon request. And again, it goes back to the roots of what Lalo really does best. He makes patterns and you ask him things and he works it out. We created, because things are matching now, they're available as a set, we've created the key fobs, which is really a cute idea, and those poop bag holders.
Yeah, which are wonderful. And you have so many choices. Yeah.
And they're choices, but they make sense choices, we like to think, because it makes it, if you're getting these colors already, why not have it all match? Why?
Exactly. It's a fashion statement.
It's a fashion statement.
When you go on a website like Gilt or something and they talk about get the look and they have all the pieces that make up the entire look, it's the same thing.
That's our goal. We didn't start that way originally, but it just made sense. And we hear people when they ask us things. We're listening. What do people think makes sense? What fits into their lifestyle? What works? That poop bag holder really was made because it made sense. We now add the D-ring over by the handle so that you could hook it right on. It's easy to go. And we made it sized so it holds the roll of plastic bags. And you could also put a credit card in there. You could put a key. You could put some coins.
Very convenient. Good.
They're making it very convenient. That's what we're trying. And the key fob just puts it all together. It's like a cute add-on.
Yes, absolutely. Do you ever get requests to have matching human and dog pieces?
Well, yes. We got that. They say life goes full circle sometimes, right?
Yes.
And we're kind of there. We've been making ladies' belts.
Exactly. So you've been getting requests to match belts with collars they've already purchased or something like that?
Yes. And we were hesitant making the belts, first because we haven't done it in a while, and we were like, do we want to go back into doing that? And then when people start asking, we're like, well, we have to rethink this. Why not do this?
Absolutely.
But we're not doing it the same way. We're doing it really nicely made. Not doing the same way, meaning from years ago when we were really more oriented towards mass market, more volume. We're not in that mindset at this moment now. We're doing it so we're catering to that person that wants something special.
Absolutely.
The requests for the belts really have come because people they haven't been seeing anything different. And so they said, please, Sharon, can you do it? And I was like, let's see what we could come up with. And the recent one was with the cluster on it. And I think it came out incredible with the random multi-cluster of stones on the 1.5 inch, I think it's 1.25 or 1.5 inch belt on black.
But if, let's say I wanted something, as a woman who likes, a little bit of, not only bling, I do love bling, but also, maybe some other sort of embellishments. If I wanted some flowers on the belt,
we've done that too.
My doggy's collar with the flowers. Maybe I want to mix patent leather with regular leather or pebbled leather. Have really an interesting thing going on. You can do it all, right?
Yes. We can do it all within the styling of what we have. Like we have our dogs, we have the dog pattern, we have the butterflies, we have the flowers, and we keep growing it. But basically that's what we have. So when you're creative and you see and you get a gist of what we're about, we could play, and we do.
And you also make for cats, for our listeners who have kitty cats but not dogs, you also make beautiful collars for kitties.
Thank you. That's another area
harnesses.
Right. And we seem to get a lot of cat business because I don't think the Google rankings are that strong for people making cat collars because people are finding us in that category in particular.
Right.
And we add the elastic for the sizing so that the cat won't get stuck and you don't have to have fear of that because it will stretch. Why should the cat wear a pretty collar?
Absolutely. I agree. And my kitties will have beautiful collars.
Okay, that's good. That's what we like.
Now, you have a really, really sweet story that I discovered on your Facebook page. And if you want to visit the Around the Collar Facebook page, it is just Around the Collar on Facebook, right?
No, it's Around the Collar Pet Accessories, actually.
Pet accessories. Okay, good. I'm
Correct.
glad you made that clarification. You created matching wedding collars for a wheelchair-bound couple named Emily and Frank. Please tell listeners this story because it is really, really beautiful.
Okay. Emily came into my life because she was getting her first companion dog from the breeder. Carmel's breeder contacted us saying that she's giving this dog, trained companion dog, to Emily, who is the sweetest woman, and her heart breaks for her being in a wheelchair.
And she's beautiful, Emily.
She's beautiful, she's kind, she's sweet. She opened my world to people that are in wheelchairs. I had no clue of like how I realize that people are disabled and what their lives are, but I didn't, she just made me see a whole different light. She's a woman that wasn't always in a wheelchair. Unfortunately, sickness happened and she became wheelchair bound. She's always had a passion for like public speaking and beauty and fashion, and she loves bling, loves stones, loves glitter, loves the whole thing. And that spark hasn't lost her because she's in a chair. She still wants fashion. And when she was speaking about all her passions with the breeder of Carmel, they searched the internet to find a beautiful collar and leash, and that's quoting them. And they found us. Through conversation, I designed a collar and a leash that Emily was really thrilled about, and we created the first set, and that was pink and with stones. Then things happened, time went by, and thanks to Facebook, Emily and I have really been in contact because Emily is very devoted to seeing what I post, and she loves it. She just loves looking. Emily falls in love. She meets Frank, and they plan a wedding. And now Frank is in a wheelchair, and he has a companion service dog also.
Right.
Now they have this wedding plan, and they realize that they, of course, need a matching set because these two beautiful dogs are walking down the aisle with them. Why wouldn't they be having an Around the Collar set? And we created it for them. We created a special length leash for them so it's comfortable. And they use it. It's white. They made a male version and a female version because Frank doesn't really want all that blink where Emily does. So we kind of put our heads together and see what will work together. And so they had that set. And then they realized, we need some, we love having this. And then now they have this red matching set also. Emily has the Penelope flowers. Frank did something with some stars and a little bit of stone just to tie it together. And that's where we are now. And their marriage, they're just a beautiful couple. They're so loving. They're so caring.
It's such a nice story. Such a nice story.
Emily is like going all over the place now. She's going to be competing for Miss Wheelchair USA or something. I don't remember. It's a pageant that she's going to be competing in. And all she talks about, and all she talks about is, the collar that she just needs to make that's going to stand out on her dog for this event.
Yes. This is really nice. Very empowering, actually. Really, really nice story.
It is. And the story, and being in the fashion business, designing ladies' belts, I was younger. I enjoyed it. I loved my travel. I loved the experience that I had going overseas and seeing what it's about and learning all about what it is to make up the product and working with the stores. But this end of Around the Collar that we've created now is so much more endearing than anything could ever be in my life. It's so people-pleasing in its own way. We sell to retail stores.
We love our pets. They're our babies. They're our children.
You love it. Yes. Love, people love their pets. And even store owners, why do they even open up the store? Because they basically have a passion for their pets.
Yes. Yeah.
And yes, and it's just very rewarding when it all works out and I get the pictures, those personal pictures of all those animals that are wearing our collars. It's incredible to look at.
Nice.
Yes.
So what's coming up? What's around the corner? Any sort of ideas that you can give us a sneak peek into of some trends or some new designs for Around the Collar?
Well, there's new designs happening all the time. Trends, we also go by we have to keep the seasons in mind, too.
Of course.
But we've been selling leopards for quite a long time. We do it on the calf hair. And now it looks like the next step is to do zebra.
Okay.
And yes.
Black and white is always big.
We believe that we want to make things that are special, but we want to also make that are fashionable and stylish. And we want to keep it so it's also classic. so that it doesn't go out of necessarily style. You're just staying in with the styles that's going on, but you could also keep these products for years to come.
Yes, yes. Well, the quality, you've got this beautiful top stitching and you've got the great color coordination and everything is made so sturdily and so, beautifully. So it's something that lasts, right?
If I could add on that, I'll mention some of the points that my husband will bring up because he's so proud of it. Every item is the edges are painted. If you have extra ornaments, like extra leather treatments on the top, like the flowers, the dogs, the butterflies, for example, those are all hand-painted also on the edge, and most of the time they're stitched, not the flower, but like the butterfly and the dogs, those are stitched around each individually. So everything is like hand-touched.
Yes. It's like a real custom piece in a way.
They are. The holes, they're also painted, Somebody's there with a stick, with the paint, with the brush, painting the inside.
Yes.
And we use a really nice leather to line the collars, too. It's a different type of leather than that's on top of the collar. Yeah. And the harnesses.
And you know what? These days, when oftentimes you just don't know where things are made or if they're made in mass overseas, quality suffers. There's something, comforting about knowing that everything is made here in New York and it's all made under your roof. And you and Lalo are overseeing every facet, every step of the way. There's something comforting about that, knowing that you know exactly what you're getting and the quality is going to remain consistent.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And, we work a lot. We work hard, but we work loving what we do. And I think that's what it is. When you have that passion, time just kind of goes by.
Well, I am so sorry to say that we're out of time, Sharon. I really enjoyed talking with you. I love the brand. The designs are beautiful, and there's a whole package of accessories that you can get to match. If you want to see more, you can go to aroundthecollar.com. You can also go on the Pet Life Radio Bark and Swagger page just to get a taste of what we've been talking about in this interview. Thank you so much for being with us, Sharon. And I look forward to keeping track on what's happening with Around the Collar and new things that are coming out all the time.
Oh, wonderful. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, Jody.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. We love talking pet fashion in all its glorious forms. So tune in next time to discover what's new. And remember, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's talk pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.